Howdy folks. A couple weeks ago I tried out Zucca and I made a fun drink with it. In the comments I got a lot of references to Sfumato, which is the other Rabarbaro that I mentioned in that video. I decided I'd pick up a bottle and we could do a taste test. So I talked about Zucca before. It is an Italian amaro that uses Chinese rhubarb rhizome in the recipe. That's what Sfumato is also. They're also using Chinese rhubarb rhizome, which I think they're growing in Italy, like imported it from China. I thought I would just do a little side-by-side taste test of the two on their own, and then I think we'll try it out in a cocktail and see which one performs better. We're gonna try the Zucca first. Yeah. I tasted this before on the other video, but it's got a lot of those classic amaro flavors. Fairly bitter, but not super bitter. A little bit of those cola notes. And there's definitely a smokiness, but it isn't, it's very light. It's a very subtle kind of smoke. One thing to note about these two is that the Zucca is much clearer. The Sfumato's got this sort of cloudy character to it, which is, you can tell on sight which one's which. Now, moving over to the Sfumato. Sfumato is made by Cappelletti. They make a bunch of other pretty interesting drinks. If you ever see a bottle that's got this little lip in this sort of funny shape, then it's probably made by Cappelletti. They make Pasubio, which is a wine-based amaro that uses a lot of mountain herbs and blueberries. That's actually really good. And they make another one, Alto Verde, I think, which is like a pine needle thing. I haven't tried that one. But Cappelletti itself, which is another sort of lower proof, sort of Campari-like product, also very good and useful for various things. So let's give this a try. This is the Sfumato. I think hopefully you can see that it's so much cloudier. It's like almost opaque. I mean, not a dissimilar flavor. Less bitter for sure, but with a sort of acrid smokiness, like much more smoky. It even smells a little bit smoky. There's different sort of ways things can be smoky. They can be sort of roasted, or they can be sort of like campfire smoky, or like peat smoke is slightly different. But this is almost got like a cigarette smoke. It's almost like it's like a sharp, acrid smokiness. But yeah, Sfumato, delicious. Much more smoky than Zucca. Zucca's more well-rounded maybe, but Sfumato is very, very interesting. Now, as I said, I did taste these last week and developed a bit of a theory, which is that I think the Sfumato will sort of cut through a cocktail more, like it's slightly more intense in its smokiness, and so if you wanted smoky flavors in a cocktail, you might reach for Sfumato rather than Zucca. They do taste pretty similar, so you wouldn't be blamed for swapping one for the other. If a recipe calls for Zucca, you could probably use Sfumato and vice versa, but you will get a slightly different drink. Searched around on Cocktail Virgin for a drink that might be fun to use to compare these two in a cocktail, and I found this drink called the Rodeo Ghost. It's by Brett Butler from San Francisco from a bar called West of Pecos. And the drink is equal parts Mezcal, Sweet Vermouth, and Zucca. Also a dash of mole bitters. So we're going to make this drink twice. Once with the Zucca, once with the Sfumato. And do a little comparison, see what we think. let's give these a try. I'm gonna try the Zucca one first. Right here, it looks beautiful. Like orange on the nose. Ooh, it's very rich. Carpano Antica is very distinct, sort of rich vanilla-y vermouth. It's the only one I had on hand right now. I might use something else for this later, like maybe a Cochi Torino or something. But you do get like a light smokiness. You get a nice herbalness from the Zucca, and it does sort of accent the Mezcal notes, the sort of minerally notes. It's a nice interplay. Mezcal and Zucca are nice together. I'll say that right away. Now, according to my theory, we're gonna get a little bit more presence from the Sfumato. Let's see what we got. Yeah, definitely. Very similar, but that real sort of sharp smokiness comes through, punches through the other ingredients a lot more. Interesting. Yeah, a lot more of that sort of upfront smokiness. It still blends nicely with the other ingredients. It's just that one sort of smoky note really punches through. I think if you're really looking for that smokiness, then you're going to want to use Sfumato. But a sort of a general richness and a more relaxed smoky note, you're going to want to use Zucca. This like super intense smokiness may not be for every drink, you know what I mean? Wow. Yeah, the Antica and the Zucca combined to get like it's almost like a bubble gum flavor. It's like a really interesting sort of vanilla smoke, vanilla herb, but then it turns into this weird kind of bubble gum. I love it. All right, hopefully that was fun and or informative. Let me know what you think down in the comments, or if there's anything else you'd like me to try, I'd love to hear about it. Don't be a stranger. We'll see you next time.